Hello everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Ron Kellawal. If you haven't already done so, don't forget to subscribe. Hit that little notification bell or button thing so you can be notified whenever I upload a new video. Leave a comment and share. Today I want to talk about dealing with public failure or dealing with failure in the public eye. So this kind of comes from a question that somebody asked me recently in terms of how do you deal with coping with the failure after you've talked about something and you've shared your project and you've really, you've let people know, the world knows you've done something, the world sees you're doing something. And when I say the world, it doesn't mean you're necessarily famous. Your community sees that you're doing something, you're trying to do something, and it fails. It flops. It just whoa, when it's like, and then you kind of feel that urge to just retreat and shrink because suddenly you're embarrassed. And I think it's natural to be embarrassed. I don't think we should shy away from our emotions. It's normal. Every emotion is there to serve us something. So one thing I will say, if you ever fail publicly or in your community, in your social circle, don't feel bad for feeling embarrassed. You're going to have that moment of embarrassment or even shame. Although shame is a big word, because I don't think you should feel ashamed. I don't even think you should feel embarrassed, but you're going to feel it. But shame is as if you've done something wrong. And a lot of us, when we feel ashamed of ourselves or ashamed of something we've done, it's because we feel like we've done something wrong. And honestly, the very fact that you have tried to accomplish something, the very fact that even if you have shared it with the world, the fact that you have taken on the courage to do something in a world that wants us to conform so much. This world, if we're being very honest, wants us all to be like sheep. That's why it's so, amazing and fascinating to us when we see people who are famous or who are popular in our social circles who stand out. And so the very fact that you tried, the very fact that you did something and you took that step, you should not feel ashamed. Okay, you didn't do anything wrong. I think shame comes with doing something wrong. You didn't do anything wrong. Being embarrassed, fair enough, but don't feel ashamed. Acknowledge the fact that it didn't go as planned. You didn't go to plan, I should say. Don't, hide from it. I don't think you should necessarily hide from it. If it's something in which you have made a mistake, perhaps, whether it's in your business or your professional life, I don't think that you should shy away necessarily. I don't know if you should necessarily put a magnifying glass on it, but I don't think that you should shy away from it. Acknowledge it, even if it's privately, you can acknowledge it. If depending on what the project is or what the kind of specific failure is, you may well have to make a public apology, for example. And in that sense, definitely acknowledge it, but always acknowledge it in some way, shape or form. Okay? I honestly don't think that you should beat yourself up for longer than is necessary. Again, it goes back to that whole feeling of embarrassment, that emotional, the emotional feeling. I don't think you should spend too much time focused on your mistake or that embarrassment. Oh my God, what are people going to think of me? Because the only way you're going to learn and grow and do better next time is if you keep moving forward. Now, this comes with a little bit of I just want you to take a pause. I want you to take the time to feel everything you're feeling. Don't kind of rush to make up for that failure. Aside from the acknowledgement, what I want you to do is you take the time, heal, develop your own coping mechanisms. Because I think some of us tend to rush into the next thing. We've not fully healed or recovered from that failure or from that mistake. So take your time to, get over it, but you have to get over it eventually. Do not internalize it. And so that's why that time is really important. You let it pass through you, that failure or that mistake, or whatever it might be. You get through it and you start again. You do something else. But that does not mean that you should hide what you're trying to do or achieve in your life. If you've shared something, I don't know, if you were a singer and you put a poster up and your concert tickets didn't sell. I don't think you should necessarily not sing again. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't try again. Learn something from every failure. There's so much to learn, and particularly in the public eye. the beauty of it, and this is where I'd like to kind of summarize, the beauty of failing publicly is it's a real test of whether you're ready. It's a test of whether you're ready for where you're supposed to get to in your life. If you fail publicly and you're not ready and you kind of run away, it means that perhaps you're not ready to get to where you need to get to. You're not ready for that major breakthrough. If you kind of close up and shut down and you never try again, that means that goal wasn't really for you. That dream wasn't really for you. And you said you were all about that dream, but I don't think you were really about that dream. Because if you were about that dream, that failure, publicly or otherwise, would not stop you. Okay, and I'm really not trying to say this in some kind of motivational, hopefully it motivates you. But what I'm trying to say is you mustn't let any kind of form of public letdowns, public failure stop you from learning and growing and getting to where you need to get to in your life. Okay, because this is life, and life can be tough, but life can also be amazing. I hope that makes sense, and I hope you tune in again, and thank you so much. Leave your comments below and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.